Can he ever just goes there and stands still?
I mean, the idea that people walk up and kiss the statues rather than have their photo took. However, you wouldn't be intimidated by a waxwork of Alan Titchmarsh. I think you would walk up and get matey, probably do that, kiss his cheek. Yes, I think there might be something in this.
I also imagine that the people who want to kiss Alan Titchmarsh might wear quite a lot of lipstick. You know?
What exactly are you saying?
I was imagining sort of, you know, powdery old ladies with, you know, hideously misapplied. Reeking of lavender and gin.
and mumbling to themselves, busy bee, busy bee, busy bee.
The Queen did say about Alan Titchmarsh, you've given a lot of ladies a lot of pleasure.
Wow. She has got a filthy sense of humour. I think I'm moving towards believing this.
I'm moving towards believing. I'm saying yes.
I'll go with you because you are captain.
Yes,
okay,
I think it's true.
Well, we think it's true.
They're saying it's true, and I can tell you it is absolutely true. Yes, it is true. Alan Titchmarsh's waxwork figure does have lipstick washed from its face twice a week. Likewise, the Kylie Minogue figure has to be washed twice a week, ironically by Jason Donovan, who works there part-time as a cleaner. Also, every week, James Blunt's figure has to have the dents beaten out of it. And Michael Jackson's waxwork has been melted down and now looks exactly like him. So a cursory glance at the score is enough to remind us that it's Lee's team who seem to be holding all the cards, leading as they do 4-2. Our next round goes by the unfinished title of This Is My, in which Lee's team will each claim to have a connection with our mystery guest, and David's team take it upon themselves to find out who's telling the truth. 3 possibilities, 2 lies, 1 truth, and no option but to plough on. This week, no fewer than 2 guests, so please welcome tonight's special guest people, Chris and Jill. So, Russell, what are Chris and Jill to you?
This is Chris and Jill. I interviewed them on my radio show because they claimed that they were abducted by aliens.
Michael, perhaps you'd like to tell us how you know Chris and Jill.
This is Chris and Jill, who are fellow members of the Guildford Walking and Dining Club.
And finally, Lee, your relationship with Chris and Jill.
This is Chris and Jill. They once helped me dispose of a dead body after I killed a man in a car park. Not really, just trying to add a bit of spice to proceedings. This is Chris and Jill, and
right.
I once slept in their shed for a whole summer.
So there you have it, some abducted radio fans, according to Russell, some rambling diners, according to Michael, or Lee's personal shed landlords. David.
This absurdity about alien abduction.
Well, they claimed it. That's why we interviewed them.
What was the story they told you?
We read it in the Alton Gazette, and then we interviewed them because apparently they met some guy called Zargon, I think. This is about a year ago. And Zargon he was upset... No, Zargon. It's their story, I'm relating it, Joe should okay.
And it may be their story you're relating it, but it may also be bullshit you're thinking up now.
No.
Zargon work at Argos.
No, he doesn't! But this is where it gets very, very bizarre, because Zargon started asking her what this was, pointing at a wheelie bin. And Jill had to explain what a wheelie bin was, which she did very well. And then they woke up in a skip the next day.
Where did they meet Zargon?
I did suggest that maybe they got drunk and woken up at a fancy dress party, but they declined that. Apparently they went to his ship, which looked a bit like, and I quote, a Yates's wine lodge, but full of aliens.
Where were they when the ship abducted them?
Just outside Coventry.
Were they in the car?
They were briefly in the car before they were sucked out of it.
So they're driving the car, they get sucked out of their car, they're thinking, what the hell's going on? The car is rudderless, carrying on the Coventry bypass. So then there they are in the Yates's wine bar with all the other aliens.
I'm sorry, David, but what part of this story doesn't add up?
It's their story, and what a story it is.
So maybe you'd like to talk to Michael now.
Yes. So, again, these people you know from
from Guildford. Chris is the Edmund Hillary of the home counties, and Jill is the Delia Smith of the outfit. Yeah.
And it is a rambling and dining
Walking
society.
and dining. Guildford, walking and dining. Which bit of this don't you understand? We go out for a walk and then we go and dine.
And you go around someone's house to dine, you don't go to a restaurant?
Yes, we do. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So what's happened the most recent meeting? Where did you walk? Whose house did you eat at? What did you have?
Well, it was actually yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
And where was the walk?
It was in Surrey, near Guildford. It was Leatherhead. Leatherhead.
Who was hosting the dinner?
Zargon.
Not our house, not Chris or Jill's house, but another couple
Can
in
you
the group.
bother to make up the name of two people?
I think this is far too plausible.
Yeah, but you haven't,
not a minor
you haven't even
society,
finished the
is it?
story yet.
Go
It's
on,
a
what
big
happened then?
swingers thing, and they all get together.
They're not blushing, they're not blushing.
What's the shed scenario, Lee?
It's a thing that poor people have in the garden to put tools in.
I know what a shed is.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Why were you sleeping in a shed?
Well, it's a good question, David.
Thank you.
It's when I first came to London, and a friend of mine who lived in London introduced me to Chris and Jill. I slept I rented a room off them, a spare room, and they had renovations done, so I had to leave. And I was desperate, and we came up with this ingenious plan where I would sleep in the shed.
When you say shed, you mean like a proper one you see in a garden centre, or this just
No, this was...
it was covers what it was?
No, it wasn't... it was a proper shed. It wasn't, insulated or any of that. It didn't have any electrics, any plumbing or anything.
These good people don't look like the kind who would tolerate someone living out in the shed. They look like the kind of people who look at each other and go, we can't have that, we can't have that, we'll put him up at our sissies.
Yeah, but you say that, don't let that look deceive me, because they also once helped me bury a man that I killed in a...
There is that.
I must say, I'm finding the most plausible story at the moment to be Lee's.
Absolutely.
There are definitely people in the world who think they've been abducted by aliens. Radio stations certainly would get in touch with them and try and sort of exploit their
We had a
muddle-headedness.
fantastic Sunday. Great Sunday.
But I think the story would be less...
Insane.
Yeah.
It's their story. Don't mock them. They're good people. They just had a tricky
I
weekend.
know I'm in a situation where if it turns out it is your story, I have, by, accident, sort of mocked them, and I apologise for that in advance, if that is the case. However, I don't believe aliens exist, and there's no getting around the fact that if that is the story, I think you are a bit wrong about that.
All right, we need an answer, so David's team. Are these people Russell's radio abductees? Are they Michael's rambling dining companions, or Lee's shed providers? Anton, what do you reckon?
I think I'm going for Lee's shed.
Yeah.
I think the show, because I think the Rambling
somehow.
Society is obviously very plausible, but it's so very plausible. We'll go with Lee.
Right, they're saying it's Lee's. Well, perhaps Chris and Jill would like to tell us who they really are.
We are, in fact, companions of Michael's in walking and dining.
So congratulations to them. Yes, Chris and Jill are indeed Michael's walking and dining friends. Sometimes reading the news just isn't exciting enough. So at the end of that round, well, it appears to be David's team who are struggling to make an impression, trailing as they are 5-2. Not a moment too soon, we come to the final round, quickfire lies, in which our panellists lie not only through their teeth, but against the clock. Again, they don't know whether they're going to be reading out a true fact about themselves or a made-up lie that they've never seen before. Plus, they may also be suddenly given a possession in this round, which they will have to claim as theirs, and may go some way to explaining the general air of panic. David's team are behind, so need to get even, not mad, starting with Lee.
My parents had to change my name to Lee because I couldn't pronounce my real name properly.
What was your real name?
Don't make him force
My real name, I was actually christened Leo. Now, I know what you're thinking, why can't I pronounce Leo? But I don't know what it was, but I had a slight speech impediment. And,
what speech impediment? Speech impediment, you can't say oh.
It was awful. Lee could never convey surprise.
The thing is, I had a very weird speech impediment. It was, I couldn't stop. So I used to say, Leo... And it used to go on for a long time, so they got a bit sick of it.
At what age did they, say, oh, he's never going to learn? You know,
Well,
he's
it was-
2, he can't even say his name.
It was about the age of about 4, something like that. Because they used to call me Lee anyway. They used to abbreviate Leo, and they said, you know what, let's just leave it at Lee.
Well, why would they do that, though? Keep it to Lee.
Yeah.
And why at your age
Maybe
you
if
carry
we
on with
knock
T?
off a syllable, he'll stop there. I mean, he might have gone Lee. Which in a way is worse. He's even more boring than Leo.